Now, if you remember this, chums, you're older than you look. Yes, well, I'm not. No, I'm not putting disparaging comments out there. Of course, we all look eternally 21, don't we? Well, you do. Well, so do I, obviously, in a bit of a dark night, not under this light. But it's hard to imagine when you think, because I don't know if you do this, when somebody tells you an anniversary, you think, no, can't be. But apparently it is 75 years next year since this wonderful celebration over here in the United Kingdom that allegedly took the world by storm, and apparently going to be happening once again. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time out. I don't know about you, but time flies, doesn't it? They often, oh, a nice wave, we'll have a wave. They often say they should get older, time just goes. And I don't know if you find this. You get up, well-meaning, you start the day off, you get your cup of tea or coffee, and you've got a day planned. And suddenly something happens where you have to restart your day and think, what am I doing now? I'm not quite sure, or whatever. Or something catches your eye, or perhaps you make that fatal mistake of looking at emails or something on your iPad, and suddenly the morning's gone and everything's pushed back. Absolutely. You see, somebody who's really made a lot of their life is none other than the British DJ. That's right, Pete Murray, who reached the wonderful age of 100. Now, if you don't know Pete Murray, what a spectacular career he's had. Being in movies, being a TV sort of presenter, being a DJ, made many, many stars, all thanks to his BBC Radio 2 show, just many different things. And a very lucky person indeed, because Pete told me a lot about his memories when he went to interview the wonderful Hollywood star Marlene Dietrich in Wimbledon, at the Wimbledon Theatre of all places. Yes, that's the glamour of showbiz, no Hollywood for Pete. Happy birthday though, Pete Murray. Lovely to still to be able to say that and do enjoy your 100th birthday. This though, back in 1951, the Festival of Britain was a very big thing indeed. Opened the Royal Festival Hall by Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother as we now know her, but the Queen then, and of course King George. This was a celebration of all good things British. Boy, do we need that now, right? And this was really put together as a spectacular event to try and lift the nation's spirits. You see how history repeats itself, right? And the idea really was to show the innovations, the new ideas, the technology, everything from brand new theatre like the Royal Festival Hall through to the advent of television, because let's not forget, of course, the Queen's coronation was the big kick-off for television in 1953. Now, the movie director who put together our wonderful Olympic show, Danny Boyle, good friend of mine, know him well, worked with him on a couple of things already. Well, he's been put in charge to put together a wonderful collection of new ideas to celebrate not just the 75th year of the Festival of Britain, but also a long weekend back on the South Bank to show exactly what we're doing for the future. And it got me thinking, when you look at the things that were the big things then, what would be the big things now, and what we think is antiquated from that era against what's now, really passé, the sort of thing. Danny Boyle tells me though that he's going to put out the very best that he can find, and of course this is going to be a huge celebration for us. And given the fact that we're going through a rather tough time, this was exactly the same, as I say, sort of period after the Second World War. No money, many years of, austerity, despair, and of course terrible, terrible wastes of life. This time around, things hopefully will be a little bit different. But do not forget, when the Festival of Britain was out in 1951, it was seen as a little bit London-centric. You see, people from the north, the Midlands and stuff like that, you had to be rich to be able to go to London. This time around, they plan to beam it into certain areas via big satellite screens, so we all feel part of it. But tell me, do you have any memorabilia from the original 1951 Festival of Britain? I'd love to know. Or indeed, did you go, and what were your memories? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.